Hey everybody, welcome to this B1 English listening practice video. You can use this video to practice your listening and comprehension as I speak. Before we start, remember to subscribe to the channel, click on the bell and follow us on Instagram. You ready? So today I'm going to talk about teenagers. This is a really relevant topic because all of us were teenagers once, or if you're really young, you'll be a teenager at some point. We're going to talk about some of the good things about being a teenager and some of the not so good things. Before we get to the cons, let's kick things off with the pros. The first positive thing about being a teenager is that you're on your way to becoming an adult. This goes without saying, but kids normally dream about being grown up. As a kid, I constantly daydream about what life was going to be like as an adult. Of course, as a teenager, you're not quite there yet, but you can see it approaching. Adulthood starts seeming like a reality and not just some distant future idea. It's pretty exciting, right? Another cool thing about being a teenager is learn new things. As kids, a lot of concepts or ideas are beyond our grasp, but as we get a little older, we start to understand these things. For example, teenagers can delve deeper into subjects like economics, business, sociology, and tons of other things. I remember that I first started learning about government and politics during my teenage years. I also remember my writing skills improved a lot when I was at that age, and even now when I look back on some of my old writing, I don't find it that bad. How about you? Another positive thing that results from adolescence is that you get stronger physically. To be honest, this was one of my favorite things about getting older. I started hitting the weights when I was partying and I became obsessed with working out. This is a phase that a lot of teenagers go through during the last couple of years of high school. I was fascinated by the fact that I was able to lift more and more weight and that I could get bigger and stronger. This is every boy's dream, right? Nowadays, I'm not that big and strong anymore, and I can barely find the motivation to do home workout a few times a week. Okay, one more positive thing about being a teenager is that you can start driving. Of course, in most countries, you can't drive until you're about 18 or so, but in the US, you can get your license when you're 16. And not only that, but you can also get your driving permit when you're only 15 and a half, just like I did. When you have your permit, you're allowed to drive with your parents in a car, which is still cool considering in the fact that you are not even 16 yet. One of the most memorable days of my youth was the first day I drove to school in my own car after I got my license. I thought I was the coolest kid in the world. Alright, let's talk briefly about a few of the negative aspects of being a teenager. First and foremost, puberty. Anyone who has gone through puberty knows that most of the time it's not fun. Your body changes, your voice changes, and a bunch of things change. And for me, an absolute worst part of puberty was having acne. I'm sure a lot of you had acne or still have it. I still have acne even though I'm a full-grown man. This is definitely one of the most annoying things about puberty. Another negative thing about being a teenager is the academic pressure. When you're in high school, everyone tells you that these are the most important years academically speaking. If you don't get good grades and if you don't get good scores on the standardized tests, you can't get into the good college. Teenagers are well aware of this and it can take its toll on them. One last thing that could be a negative for some teenagers is figuring out what they want to do in life. Many adolescents have no idea what kind of career they want because they haven't really had any experience working in any field. I trained my mind a few times about what I wanted to do, and many of my friends did too. It can be stressful for teenagers to think about this stuff. Okay, now I'm gonna ask you 3 questions about today's video to check your comprehension. Write your answers in the comment down below. Number 1, how old was I when I started going to the gym? Number 2, at what age can I get your driver's license in the US? And number 3, what happens if you get bad grades in high school? Alright, before we go, remember to subscribe to the channel, click on the bell, and follow us on Instagram for more English tips and lessons. I'll see you next time.